40 degrees below zero wind chills are about to slam into over 70 major cities across the eastern United States, and the timeline for when this Arctic blast hits your town might shock you. Right now, at this very moment on Tuesday evening, February 3rd, 2026, a dangerous winter pattern is unfolding that will affect more than 120 million Americans over the next 96 hours. But here is what nobody else is telling you. This is not just one cold snap. We are looking at a complete atmospheric flip that could bring wave after wave of winter storms all the way through March 20th. And if you stay with me for just 30 more seconds, I am going to reveal the exact hour the worst conditions arrive in your specific city, plus which locations will see the most dangerous ice accumulations that could knock out power for days. Let me give you the current situation right now as I record this. Heavy wet snow is already falling across northern Kentucky at rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour. This is a 10-to-1 snow ratio, which means this snow is incredibly heavy. In Lexington, Kentucky, 3 inches have fallen in the past 2 hours. In Huntington, West Virginia, visibility has dropped to 1/4 mile. And here's the critical detail. This is only storm system number 1 of 3 that will hit between now and Saturday morning. Now, before I go any further, drop a comment below and tell me what city you are in. I want to make sure you get the specific forecast for your location because the timing varies dramatically depending on where you live. Someone in Charleston, West Virginia will see completely different conditions than someone in Buffalo, New York, even though both are getting hit by the same overall pattern. Let me walk you through the timeline hour by hour, city by city, so you know exactly when to prepare. Wednesday morning, February 4th, starting at 6 a.m. Eastern Time, these cities wake up to snow and ice-covered roads. Ashland, Kentucky, 2 to 4 inches of snow overnight. Portsmouth, Ohio, 3 to 5 inches. Parkersburg, West Virginia, 4 to 6 inches. Charleston, West Virginia, 5 to 7 inches. Huntington, West Virginia, 4 to 6 inches. Beckley, West Virginia, 6 to 9 inches. Your morning commute in these cities will be treacherous. We are talking snow-packed roads with a layer of ice underneath because temperatures dropped below freezing overnight. If you work the early shift and need to leave by 6 or 7 a.m., give yourself an extra 30 to 40 minutes. But here's the plot twist. At noon on Wednesday, the storm shifts south and a completely different set of cities gets hit. Starting at 12 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday afternoon, Roanoke, Virginia begins seeing a mix of snow and sleet. Lynchburg, Virginia, same situation, snow mixing with sleet. Danville, Virginia, starts as rain, then transitions to freezing rain by 3 p.m., and this is where it gets dangerous. Northeastern North Carolina, I need you to pay very close attention. Greenville, North Carolina, between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. Wednesday, you are in the freezing drizzle zone. Elizabeth City, North Carolina, same time frame, freezing drizzle. Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, freezing drizzle. This creates black ice conditions that are invisible to drivers. We are talking ice accumulations of 1/10 to 1/4 inch on roads, on power lines, on tree branches. Now, Richmond, Virginia, here is your specific timeline. Snow begins at 1 p.m. Wednesday afternoon. By 4 p.m., you have 2 inches on the ground. By 7 p.m. Wednesday evening, 4 inches total. The snow ends around 11 p.m. Wednesday night with final totals of 5 to 7 inches across the Richmond metro area. Greensboro, North Carolina, your timeline is slightly different. Light snow begins at 3 p.m. Wednesday. It intensifies between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. Wednesday evening. You will see your heaviest snowfall rates during the evening rush hour. Total accumulations of 3 to 5 inches with the snow ending around 2 a.m. Thursday morning. Winston-Salem, North Carolina, very similar to Greensboro. Snow starts at 3:30 p.m. Wednesday, heaviest from 6 to 9 p.m., ending around 2:30 a.m. Thursday, 3 to 5 inches total. Durham, North Carolina, and Raleigh, North Carolina, you are in a tricky spot. You start as rain at 2 p.m. Wednesday, transition to a mix of sleet and freezing rain between 5 and 7 p.m., then possibly end as snow after 9 p.m. This creates a layered ice and snow situation. Total snow accumulations of 1 to 3 inches, but with a glaze of ice underneath. Now, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and Cary, North Carolina, same story as Raleigh and Durham. That transition zone is critical. The rain to ice to snow transition happens during the evening commute, making Wednesday evening one of the most dangerous times to be on the roads. Thursday afternoon brings storm system number 2, and this one is riding the leading edge of the Arctic air. Starting at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday afternoon, February 5th, Milwaukee, Wisconsin sees snow developing. By 5 p.m. Thursday, 2 inches on the ground. Snow continues through midnight Thursday with totals of 3 to 5 inches. Green Bay, Wisconsin, snow begins at 1 p.m. Thursday, intensifies by 4 p.m., continues overnight. Total accumulations 4 to 6 inches by Friday morning. Madison, Wisconsin, similar timeline. Snow starts at 2:30 p.m. Thursday, heaviest from 6 to 10 p.m. Thursday evening, totals of 3 to 5 inches. Now we shift to Michigan. Grand Rapids, Michigan. Snow begins at 3 p.m. Thursday afternoon. By 7 p.m. Thursday evening, 3 inches have accumulated. Snow continues through 3 a.m. Friday morning with totals of 4 to 6 inches. Detroit, Michigan. Snow starts later, around 5 p.m. Thursday evening, but it comes down heavily between 8 p.m. Thursday and 2 a.m. Friday. Detroit metro area sees 3 to 5 inches. Lansing, Michigan. Snow begins at 4 p.m. Thursday. Heaviest rates from 7 to 11 p.m. Thursday evening. Totals of 4 to 7 inches. Flint, Michigan, very similar to Lansing, 4 to 7 inches with the heaviest snow Thursday evening. Traverse City, Michigan, being further north, you get in on this earlier. Snow begins at 1 p.m. Thursday and continues through Friday morning with totals of 5 to 8 inches. Marquette, Michigan, up on Lake Superior, you are in the lake effect enhancement zone. Snow begins at noon Thursday and continues through Friday afternoon with totals of 6 to 10 inches, possibly more in the heaviest lake effect bands. Now let us talk about Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio, snow begins at 4 p.m. Thursday afternoon. By 8 p.m. Thursday, 2 inches on the ground. Snow continues overnight with totals of 3 to 5 inches by Friday morning. Akron, Ohio, same timeline as Cleveland. 3 to 5 inches total. Toledo, Ohio, snow starts at 3 p.m. Thursday, accumulates quickly during the evening, totals of 2 to 4 inches. Columbus, Ohio, you are on the southern edge of this system. Light snow begins at 6 p.m. Thursday evening, continues overnight, totals of 1 to 3 inches. Cincinnati, Ohio, you are even further south, just light snow showers Thursday night, accumulations of 1 inch or less. But southern Ohio, here is where you get hit twice. You already have snow on the ground from Wednesday, and now you are getting more Thursday night. Some areas of southern Ohio, particularly in the Appalachian foothills, could see combined storm totals of 8 to 12 inches. Pennsylvania, let me give you your timeline. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, snow begins at 5 p.m. Thursday evening, continues through Friday morning, totals of 3 to 5 inches. Erie, Pennsylvania, you are in the lake effect zone. Snow begins at 3 p.m. Thursday and continues through Saturday morning with totals of 5 to 9 inches, possibly more in the heaviest lake effect bands off Lake Erie. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, just light snow Thursday night, 1 to 2 inches. Scranton, Pennsylvania, light snow Thursday night and Friday morning, 1 to 3 inches. Allentown, Pennsylvania, light to moderate snow Friday morning, 2 to 4 inches. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, this is where it gets interesting. You miss most of the Thursday system, but you are right in the path of what comes next. Now here is what I promised you at the 5-minute mark, the most dangerous part of this entire weather event. Saturday morning, February 7th, the Arctic blast arrives with full force. This is when wind chills drop to levels we have not seen in years. Let me give you the Saturday morning 7 a.m. wind chill temperatures city by city. Burlington, Vermont, 28 degrees below zero. Plattsburgh, New York, 32 degrees below zero. Messina, New York, 35 degrees below zero. Watertown, New York, 30 degrees below zero. Syracuse, New York, 24 degrees below zero. Rochester, New York, 22 degrees below zero. Buffalo, New York, 20 degrees below zero. Albany, New York, 18 degrees below zero. Binghamton, New York, 20 degrees below zero. Scranton, Pennsylvania, 16 degrees below zero. Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, 16 degrees below zero. Now here is the shocking part. The Poconos in Pennsylvania, wind chills drop to 32 degrees below zero Saturday morning. That is colder than many locations in northern New York. State College, Pennsylvania, 20 degrees below zero. Altoona, Pennsylvania, 18 degrees below zero. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 14 degrees below zero. Erie, Pennsylvania, 18 degrees below zero. Cleveland, Ohio, 16 degrees below zero. Akron, Ohio, 14 degrees below zero. Youngstown, Ohio, 16 degrees below zero. Columbus, Ohio, 10 degrees below zero. Toledo, Ohio, 12 degrees below zero. Detroit, Michigan, 18 degrees below zero. Flint, Michigan, 20 degrees below zero. Lansing, Michigan, 22 degrees below zero. Grand Rapids, Michigan, 20 degrees below zero. Traverse City, Michigan, 24 degrees below zero. Marquette, Michigan, 26 degrees below zero. Sault, St. Marie, Michigan, 30 degrees below zero. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 16 degrees below zero. Green Bay, Wisconsin, 22 degrees below zero. Madison, Wisconsin, 18 degrees below zero. Duluth, Minnesota, 30 degrees below zero. Minneapolis, Minnesota, 24 degrees below zero. St. Paul, Minnesota, 24 degrees below zero. Now let us go down to West Virginia, where the elevation makes things even colder. Elkins, West Virginia, Saturday morning, 7 a.m., wind chill of 34 degrees below zero. Morgantown, West Virginia, 20 degrees below zero. Charleston, West Virginia, 12 degrees below zero. Huntington, West Virginia, 10 degrees below zero. But here is the worst part. Sunday morning, February 8th at 7 a.m., this is the coldest morning of the weekend. Eastern New York, some localized areas see wind chills of 40 degrees below zero. Let me repeat that. 40 below zero. Saranac Lake, New York, wind chill of 42 degrees below zero Sunday morning. Lake Placid, New York, 40 degrees below zero. Tupper Lake, New York, 38 degrees below zero. These are life-threatening wind chills. Frostbite occurs on exposed skin in less than 10 minutes. This is not a time to be outside unless absolutely necessary. Now, along with these brutal wind chills, we have dangerous wind gusts Saturday at noon. Allentown, Pennsylvania, wind gusts 40 to 45 miles per hour. Reading, Pennsylvania, wind gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, wind gusts 35 to 45 miles per hour. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, wind gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour. Wilmington, Delaware, wind gusts 45 to 50 miles per hour. Baltimore, Maryland, wind gusts 40 to 45 miles per hour. Washington, D.C., wind gusts 35 to 45 miles per hour. These strong winds combined with the extreme cold create wind chills that are dangerous, but they also can knock down tree branches weakened by ice and snow, potentially causing power outages. Speaking of power outages, let me tell you which cities face the highest risk of losing electricity. Any location that gets that freezing drizzle Wednesday afternoon and evening in northeastern North Carolina, you are at elevated risk. The ice accumulation on power lines can snap them. Elizabeth City, Greenville, Kitty Hawk have backup plans for heat and light. Now let me shift to the western United States because Saturday afternoon brings a storm to the Pacific Northwest. Seattle, Washington, rain begins at 2 p.m. Saturday afternoon, continues through Sunday morning, total rainfall 1 to 2 inches. Olympia, Washington, rain begins at 1 p.m. Saturday, totals of 1.5 to 2.5 inches. Tacoma, Washington, same as Seattle, 1 to 2 inches of rain Saturday afternoon through Sunday morning. Bellingham, Washington, rain and mountain snow, 1 to 2 inches of rain in the city, 6 to 12 inches of snow in the mountains. Portland, Oregon, rain begins at 4 p.m. Saturday afternoon, continues through Sunday afternoon, totals of 1 to 2 inches. Eugene, Oregon, rain begins at 5 p.m. Saturday, totals of 1.5 to 2 inches by Sunday evening. Medford, Oregon, rain begins Saturday evening, totals of 1 to 1.5 inches. Spokane, Washington, you are cold enough for snow. Snow begins Saturday afternoon, continues through Sunday, totals of 3 to 6 inches. Now the mountains get hit hard. Mount Rainier, 12 to 24 inches of snow. The Cascades in Washington, 12 to 24 inches. Mount Hood in Oregon, 10 to 18 inches. The Northern Cascades, 14 to 24 inches. Boise, Idaho, snow begins late Saturday night, continues Sunday, totals of 2 to 4 inches. Core D, Aleen, Idaho, snow. Saturday night through Sunday, 4 to 8 inches. Missoula, Montana, snow Sunday, 3 to 6 inches. Great Falls, Montana, snow Sunday, 2 to 5 inches. Kalispell, Montana, near Glacier National Park, snow Saturday night through Monday morning, 6 to 12 inches. Now let me tell you about the long-range pattern because this is where things get very interesting. The week of February 9th through 16th, we see a major pattern shift. That ridge of high pressure that has been parked over the Pacific Northwest all winter starts moving east. This allows a deep trough to develop over the western United States. What does this mean for you? If you live in Los Angeles, California, San Diego, California, Las Vegas, Nevada, Phoenix, Arizona, Albuquerque, New Mexico, you are going to see cooler than normal temperatures starting the week of February 9th. Not Arctic cold like the East is seeing now, but noticeably cooler. Meanwhile, the eastern United States warms up significantly. By Friday, February 13th, leading into Valentine's Day weekend, cities like New York, Boston, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C. see temperatures in the mid to upper 40s, possibly even low 50s Fahrenheit. That is 15 to 20 degrees above normal for mid-February, but do not get too comfortable because the pattern shifts again the week of February 16th through 23rd. That cold air in the west starts sliding east. By the last week of February, February 23rd through 28th, we see clipper systems diving out of Canada, bringing snow to the northern United States again. And then early March, this is the big one. The coldest air of the entire winter season could arrive east of the Rocky Mountains during the first 2 weeks of March. We are talking potential for significant winter storms in places that normally start to see spring by early March. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, be on alert early March for potential ice and snow. Tulsa, Oklahoma, same situation. Wichita, Kansas, snow potential early March. Kansas City, Missouri, significant snow potential first week of March. Little Rock, Arkansas, ice and snow threat early March. Memphis, Tennessee, ice and snow potential. Nashville, Tennessee, snow potential early March. Knoxville, Tennessee, snow likely early March. Roanoke, Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, Raleigh, North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, all have the potential for late-season winter storms first half of March. Even Atlanta, Georgia, Birmingham, Alabama, Jackson, Mississippi could see wintry weather early March if the pattern sets up just right. Here is what the models are showing for potential snow accumulations through March 20th, the spring equinox. The northern tier of states from Montana to Maine could see an additional 12 to 24 inches of snow between now and spring. The Great Lakes region, another 10 to 18 inches. The Ohio Valley, 8 to 16 inches. The Mid-Atlantic, 6 to 12 inches. Even the southern Appalachians from northern Georgia through western North Carolina and eastern Tennessee could see another 6 to 10 inches before winter ends. And the mountains out west, the Cascades, the Rockies, the Sierra Nevada, we are talking another 2 to 4 feet of snow through mid-March in the highest elevations. This is a very active pattern. Winter is far from over. In fact, some of the biggest storms of the season could still be ahead of us in late February and early March.
Now, I need you to do something for me right now. Drop a comment below with your city and state. Tell me where you are watching from. That helps me know which areas to focus on in tomorrow's update. And I will be back tomorrow evening with another detailed forecast, including any changes to these timelines, because here is what is coming next that you need to know about. Tomorrow's video will reveal which specific neighborhoods in major cities face the highest risk of prolonged power outages this weekend. I have identified 12 metropolitan areas where the combination of ice, wind, and extreme cold creates a perfect storm for electrical grid problems. If you live in Philadelphia, Baltimore, or Washington, D.C., you absolutely need to see tomorrow's forecast. Plus, I will show you the exact track of that major winter storm I am forecasting for early March. The models are starting to come into agreement on a potentially historic snow event for the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic during the first week of March. The European model is showing 20 to 30 inches of snow for some cities. The American model is more conservative at 12 to 18 inches, but either way, this could be a major snowstorm. So make sure you come back tomorrow evening for that update. Until then, stay safe, stay warm, and if you are in the path of this Arctic blast this weekend, now is the time to prepare. Charge your devices, stock up on essentials, check on your neighbors, especially elderly neighbors who may need help. And remember, this extreme cold is temporary. By Valentine's Day next week, much of the East will be warming up significantly. Drop that comment below with your location. I will see you tomorrow evening with a